Hey, friend. Welcome to the Hearts Hello Show. This is a space where we stop pretending everything is fine and start telling the truth about what it actually takes to grow. Because the reality is, life will stretch you. It will challenge your mindset, test your character, and reveal the places where what you say you believe and how you actually live don't always match. And that's where the real work begins. So here we talk about authenticity, faith, personal responsibility, relationships, and the internal alignment required to become who you were created to be. So wherever you are right now, take a breath, slow down, and let's have the conversation your heart has been waiting for. Hey. So I've been sitting here thinking about what we're going to talk about this week. And honestly, this message wasn't where I thought we were going. This week I had a dream that I was in the military. And when I woke up, I did what I encourage you all to do, not just through this series, but in general, when listening to my show, go to God and ask Him. So I didn't just move on with my day. I stopped and I asked God, what was that about? And almost immediately He said, discipline. Now, I'm going to be honest. I wasn't expecting that answer. See, I thought maybe He was going to show me something about purpose or where I'm headed next. But instead, He started talking to me about discipline. Not because He's trying to be hard on me, but because there are some areas in my own life where I know I need to become more disciplined. So just like I am sharing with you all about my dream, I was having a similar conversation with my brother about it and sharing with him about the dream and the level of discipline that I need to have. And it's just one of those things where, sometimes you can have a conversation with yourself about it, but when you begin to have a conversation with someone else, the conversations kind of just hit different. In addition to that, you're finally just being honest with yourself about where you are. And so, I got off of the phone with him and I was just sitting there and and I'm thinking about all the things that I know I'm supposed to be doing. Not because I don't know what to do. I know what to do. Not because I don't have the ability. I do. I have everything that I need right here in my hands. And I just started asking myself, so what's really stopping me? And the first thing I thought about was maybe it was fear. And then I caught myself and I was like, I didn't know if that was the right word to use, but the more I sat with it, I think maybe it is. Not always fear of failing. Sometimes it's the fear of what comes after, because walking through certain doors changes things. And then all of a sudden, I remember something. About a year ago, I was in one of the hardest seasons of my life, looking for employment, where many of you walked through that season with me. I talked about it on the show. You've prayed with me. You've encouraged me. You know how long that journey felt. And I remember talking to God during that season, making all of these promises. And I remember saying, God, when you bless me with this job, I'm not going to get comfortable. I'm still going to build. I'm still going to work on what you've called me to do. And as I was sitting there this week, it was almost like God reminded me of my own words. Don't forget what you said. Whoo, can I tell you something? Sometimes we need God to remind us of the promises we made while we were waiting. Because once the pressure comes off, once life gets a little more stable, it's easy to settle. It's easy to get comfortable. And right after all of that, the song came on about Exodus. Y'all, I just sat there because we've been talking about doors for weeks now, testing doors, learning discernment at doors, recognizing which doors need to stay closed and which ones we've been afraid to walk through. And it hit me. What if the door we've been praying for isn't another door? What if it's one we've been standing in front of this whole time? The one that we've convinced ourselves is closed when really we've just been hesitant to grab the handle because we already know what's waiting on the other side. See, I think sometimes we ask God to open doors that He's already opened. And we're standing there saying, Lord, if it's your will, open the door. And He's saying, I did. Now walk. See, I started thinking about the children of Israel. See, we celebrate the fact that they left Egypt. We celebrate the Red Sea. We celebrate Pharaoh finally letting them go. But here's what I realized, that leaving Egypt wasn't the finish line. It was the beginning. They didn't just have to leave slavery. They had to learn how to live free. See, those are two completely different things, because slavery had taught them how to think, how to respond, how to survive. And even after they crossed over, there were moments when they wanted to go back to what was familiar, because freedom required something different from them. See, freedom required them to trust. Freedom required obedience. Freedom required discipline. And I wonder how many of us are praying for freedom but aren't preparing for the responsibility that comes with it. Because freedom isn't just getting out. Freedom is learning how to not go back. See, I also started looking at my military dream differently. See, military training isn't exciting every day. It's repetition. It's consistency. It's doing the little things over and over until they become second nature. See, you don't wait until you're in the battle to figure out what to do. You prepare before the battle ever comes. And if I wonder if that's what God was showing me, maybe He's less concerned about getting me to the next door and more concerned about making sure I'm prepared once I walk through it. Because here's the truth. A lot of us can get through the door. The question is, can we stay free? Can we handle the responsibility? Can we remain consistent when nobody is cheering us on? Can we keep showing up after the excitement wears off? Because, see, that's where discipline steps in. Not punishment, not perfection, discipline. And maybe that's why this whole series has unfolded the way that it has. Because first we had to learn to notice the doors. Then we had to learn to test the doors. Then we had to develop discernment at the doors. And now we're realizing that some of these doors have been unlocked this whole time. See, the thing standing between us and the next season isn't always another prayer. Sometimes it's another step. So this week, I don't want us spending our time asking God for another door. I want us to ask Him something different. God, where have you already given me permission to move? Because maybe the business isn't waiting on another sign. Maybe the ministry isn't waiting on another confirmation. Maybe the healing isn't waiting on another conversation. Maybe, just maybe, you've already been given what you need to take the first step. And if that's the case, the next thing to pray for isn't another opportunity. It's the discipline to steward the one you already have. So here's your homework for this week. And you all know, I don't like leaving here without giving you, us, something to work on, because if all we do is listen, but we never apply it, then we're just collecting information, and information by itself doesn't change our lives. So this week, we're going to do this together. I want you to grab your journal, your notes app, or even just a piece of paper, and I want you to answer these 3 questions. Number 1, what's the door I've been standing in front of that I've been calling closed, but if I'm honest, I've just been avoiding what it requires? Be honest with yourself. No judgment, just truth. Number 2, if I walk through the door tomorrow, what version of me would have to exist to stay there? Would I need to be more disciplined with my time, with my finances, my health, my words, my consistency, my faith? See, don't focus on getting through the door. Focus on becoming the person who can remain on the other side. And number 3, what's one thing, not 10, just one, that I can commit to doing every single day this week that moves me towards that version of myself? If it's one phone call, if it's writing one page, one workout, one prayer, one application, one act of kindness, 1 hour without distractions, whatever your one thing is, protect it. Because small acts of discipline become big moments of transformation. And next week, this week, whichever week you're listening to this, I want you to come back and ask yourself this question. Did I spend another week waiting on a door? Or did I finally grab the handle? Because I have a feeling for a lot of us, the door has been open all along. We just needed the courage and the discipline to walk through it. I'll see you next week. Before you go, sit with this for a moment. Growth doesn't happen because we heard something inspiring. Growth happens when we become honest enough to examine how we're actually showing up in our lives. So take what resonated with you today, reflect on it, and decide what alignment looks like for you. And if this conversation helped you see something differently, share the episode with someone who might need it too. And if you want to stay connected, you can always find me at the Heart's Hello. Until next time, friend, keep choosing truth, keep doing the work, and keep saying hello to your heart.